So I think this right here is the perfect representation of all of Diddy's celebrity friends that are going to be named in the lawsuit against him. Yep, as some big names are being named right now as we officially had the first day of the Diddy trial. What is going on here? What are the latest developments? There was a bathroom emergency, as of course. Is there GHB in the baby oil? What's really going on here? That's exactly what we are going to be discussing in this particular video, as, of course, opening arguments start in just a few days from now, as today officially marks the beginning of the trial of the year, as the memes here are already pretty, gosh darn incredible. I wanted to talk about the bigger kind of purview here and pervs involved in all of the activities that I think are being covered up here by the Southern District of New York that will be throwing some celebrities under the bus, but all the politicians connected to Diddy, the Clintons, the Obamas, I think they're going to be made safe here through the court proceedings that are going to be very interesting to see here. As again, the images, the memes, the creativity here that's being expressed by some people, absolutely just a chef's touch on it when it comes to understanding our current discourse, as this story runs a lot deeper than the Southern District of New York wants you to realize here, as there's a lot of very seedy, nasty, undercover brother Diddy type of behavior that is far more deprived, debaucherous, and evil than you could even muster up in your brain, as we're only just scratching the surface here, by the way. We're only getting a little bit of information surrounding what are the consequences of a deprived industry that, by the way, is getting tariffed by Donald Trump today. And a lot of people are like, oh, no, Hollywood. Oh, no, our celebrity entertainment. I'm like, good. Tax them all. As there's even some people out there outside of the Diddy court proceedings with shirts that say free puff. Yep, you heard that correctly. As Diddy's lawyers had some interesting statements to make here outside of the courthouse today, announcing that they are ready for a fight.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight anymore.
Yep, as a lot of people are mixed, whether Diddy will be free or whether he will be going down for significant time in jail, as he is facing decades in jail if the federal prosecutors here win. The federal prosecutors in this specific district overwhelmingly win. Now, they will have to prove without any kind of reasonable doubt that P. Diddy committed the heinous crimes that he has committed against all of the individuals that are being named here, that are going to be going forward, that are also a part of civil lawsuits against Sean P. Diddy Combs and are suing him, not just a part of this federal lawsuit, but a part of civil lawsuits that Diddy is involved in, with a lot of people coming forward. And rightfully, some of them are probably going to try to get a money grab here, as other people probably have some legitimate concerns here with some of the more egregious, eye-opening, weird kind of behavior that we have seen exemplified by a lot of celebrities that get too big for their bridges and have billions of dollars, have everyone worshiping them. That type of behavior isn't really normal. The human psyche can't really handle it. And a lot of people who have the cheat codes to life, unlimited money, unlimited fame, usually end up doing some weird stuff, just like in a video game. You get the cheat codes in a video game, you do some weird stuff. Let's just be honest with ourselves. That's the same kind of psyche that I would argue a lot of very prominent, famous celebrities have, that make them go down this pathway of debauchery, deprived, evil type of behavior that is also linked to Satanism in Hollywood. I'll talk about that in a little bit here. But again, the first reports that we're getting here is that Diddy was cool, calm, and collected as he strutted into the courtroom, as he was hugging his lawyer. And then we got other reports coming in that he had an emergency bathroom type of situation where he had to run out of there allegedly because of the mud butt. according to the reports that are coming in here as the updates here. I think, they're not really major, but I think the biggest updates were that there's an extensive list of celebrities that have been particularly named here, as we have a judge coming forward and saying, yeah, the list of people and places runs several places and felt like, quote, an appendix from Lord of the Rings. Now, who are these individuals? As one of them is a troubled person that was just talking about some really weird behavior that they did with their cousins when they were 6 years old here. Who are these individuals? As again, this is predicting what we've been telling you guys, saying they're going to throw some celebrities under the bus here. There's going to be a lot of famous people that are going to be named here, and it's not going to be the best of looks for them, as there's already bodyguards and associates coming forward talking about Will Smith getting cheeks clapped. There's people alleging LeBron. There's people alleging a lot of other people. I'm more interested in the politicians, but the politicians are being kept safe here. But before talking about the celebrities that were named today, I want to tell you about thebestpoliticalshirts.com. That's, of course, the shirt that I'm wearing right now. Also, a great shirt to wear out there in the general public. I was out at a Sean Kelly little meet and greet, hangout. He invited me to over the weekend here in Miami. I decided to wear one of my T-shirts like this. That, again, a family-friendly show here. We keep this family-friendly here. If you want to know what it says, you got to go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com. We got a lot of great shirts. We got some shirts regarding Diddy too. You just type in Diddy, and then bada bing, bada boom. Diddy didn't blank himself. What's that blank? What does that blank mean? You got to go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com and check it out, as we are really releasing some eye-opening shirts that are the best of conversations. Again, look at this guy. Give you a little. What does that say? Who knows? Oh wait, it's on the screen. Anyway, I'm being a little ridiculous here. Just like these shirts that are for the perfect crazy uncle in your life, that of course you get to give the ultimate best gift of, and that is free speech and self-expression to the maximum extent of triggering all the leftoids and liberals and NPCs out there, as you make sure to disrupt their cognitive dysfunction of NPC brain matter and dribble that they are assigned through their programming. Again, great shirt. Start some interesting conversations. Do your own form of lazy activism. We got women's shirts. We got short sleeves. We got long sleeves. We got hats. You name it, we got it. Thebestpoliticalshirts.com. The new stuff out there, great stuff. This is one of the new shirts out there. Really great quality. I really like this shirt. And definitely, I mean, so many people were coming up to me during the Sean Kelly meetup. Like, oh, yeah, I love the shirt. I love the shirt. Where you got it? I was like, actually made it. Yeah, I actually masterminded to buy this one. And then what in the world is going on here? All right, it looks like there's some audio interference here. Apologies for that on a different browser that I have open right now. But anyway, continuing the conversation because it's an important one to have. Get a shirt, thebestpoliticalshirts.com, as you now could not only be a trendsetter, but a conversation starter at parties and all the right places where you get to meet some really cool, awesome people. Now, outside of the emergency bathroom situation for P. Diddy, I thought one of the most kind of important aspects of today was that there was an extensive list that was named of celebrities. Some of them are Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, who previously, just a few days ago, came out in support of the liberal World Economic Forum bankster government in Canada there, as he made a very cringy, elbows up, liberal world order type of shirt talking about how Canada, a place he fled, is going to be great under liberal leadership. Yeah, that really worked out well for all the other failed communistic leftist liberal nations out there. And another person that was named here was Kanye West here. Now, Kanye West is the most interesting one because of, according to a lot of sources, Kanye West is the only one picking up Sean Diddy's phone calls. Sean Combs is reaching out to a lot of these celebrities, and they're just ignoring him. They don't want to talk to him. But he's talking a lot to Kanye West. Kanye West is also recording his conversations, releasing it to the general public. But Kanye West also had an interesting turn of events lately, kind of confessing to some inappropriate behavior with his 6-year-old family relative, which really just is an unfortunate conversation, and a conversation that really has flabbergasted, confused, and bewildered a lot of people here. As The Independent writes, jury selection has begun with the highly anticipated trial of Sean P. Diddy Combs, as federal prosecutors have brought a 5-count indictment against the 55-year-old music mogul, accusing him of trafficking, transportation, and engaging in adult purchases and racketeering conspiracy. Now, this is going to be a very interesting case here. What was the involvement specifically with Mike Myers here, and this other celebrity here, Michael B. Jordan? What were they doing with all of this? What were they privy to? What did they know what was going on here? And we know a lot of celebrities know that the industry is very predatory. If you look at what happened with Harvey Weinstein, that was an extremely eye-opening case to really understand just how the levels of fame and celebrity kind of work here, as it's fair to assume almost everyone in his movies that was a mainline actor had to pay the price. How do you pay the price for Harvey Weinstein? You get down and you do some weird stuff for him, and then he promotes you and propels you in the entertainment industry. And if you don't play along with what the Harvey Weinsteins, and again, it's not just Harvey Weinstein. There's many other Harvey Weinsteins out there that are still too powerful, more powerful than Harvey Weinstein, that have not yet been held accountable for their actions. So looking at Michael Myers' kind of latest endorsements in Canada, it makes me wonder, maybe he is being kind of extorted here, as a lot of celebrities in Hollywood are. And again, this is the way that a lot of these very powerful, prominent people control things. They go to celebrities and they say, look, you want this role? You want to be famous? You want to become the most prominent, most important person? You want to be worshipped by all these people? Okay, you got to go in the back room, open up the baby oil, take out the video camera, bring in the men here. And a lot of times it's men-on-men action here. Let's just be real with ourselves. It's a lot of Diddy action, all right? It's a lot of clapping all those cheeks. Let's be real, all right? Let's just be real, okay? And you're looking at a mainline movie. You're watching a lot of people that have to do a lot of really bad, seedy stuff in order to get into those positions of power. And we saw a lot of people within the Hollywood industry warn about Harvey Weinstein before there was actually any kind of legitimate action being made about this. And they were kind of joking about it. They were making inside jokes about this. They were talking about the casting couch, and they were talking about all these other kind of weird things and events that were unfolding, all in the private backroom dealings. As I think there's a similar situation happening with Diddy, as there's people coming forward and saying, hey, I was told if I want to make it in the music industry, I had to get down. I had to have Diddy clap the cheeks here. And let's be honest with ourselves, that's how a lot of this industry is made here. And now when we're looking at other cases where Diddy specifically had very young children around him, when he had Bieber, when he was still a very young teenager, when he had Usher, when he was still a very young teenager around him, when he was a part of some debaucherous behavior, as Diddy's lawyers are arguing that, people are just mad that he had a swinger lifestyle. No, it wasn't just a swinger type of lifestyle. There definitely points to more kind of really weird type of behavior. And I think there's going to be, unless there's actually a lot of solid smoking gun evidence, it's going to be not that easy for the prosecutors to prove a lot of this, as we have to understand here. When we're dealing with these types of situations, you need to prove without any kind of reasonable doubt that this happened. And you need medical records, you need medical proof, as now a lot of people are specifically talking about, the baby oil. And a lot of online sleuths are saying, well, it wasn't just baby oil. That was just kind of the weird kind of anomaly here, especially with the feds grabbing as much of it as they did, as Diddy had as much of it as it did, as a lot of people are saying. It wasn't just baby oil. It was specifically oily substance that was GHB, which is a date R drug that a lot of predators use on people, that allows them to be in a state of euphoria and allows them to, of course, not remember the details of potential abuse that they go through predators that use this GHB substance on a lot of their victims without them knowing it. We had also one of Diddy's former bodyguards come out and say this about this. Hold on, the audio here. Apologies.
They left people there, but they for them to take 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It's like that they did not leave one. They left people there, but they ain't leave not one bottle. Nobody needed no baby oil. So my whole thing about it is that there was something in that other than baby oil. That's why they took all the bottles. And 9 times out of 10, if I would give it a wild guess, it was, and like some of the people told me, it was probably that GHB.
Yeah, no, that's a big admission. That's huge there because if the feds confiscated baby oil, and in some of that baby oil is GHB, a jury, 12 people looking at that evidence be like, why in the hell? And then Diddy also was being accused of just like pouring baby oil on everyone. What better way to, of course, set up secret surveillance cameras? People think, oh, it's baby oil. And then, oh, no, it's the drug that's being used by predators. So victims do not remember what happened to them, and they become in a state of euphoria when, of course, that particularly happens here. Again, there's also a lot of people coming forward saying, yeah, I was given some juice. I was given something to smoke here. And people just ended up all crazy. Some people report just finding themselves without any clothes on with Diddy. And there's accusations of other celebrities watching, some of them sometimes participating in doing some really awful kind of things to them. Again, family-friendly show here with a very unfamily-friendly topic here. I wouldn't let your kids watch this video, but they should be warned. Hey, if there's a celebrity out there, he wants you to party with your children, if you're a parent, say no. Celebrities, even though, again, people always try to think of the best of some of these people, but these are some of the most abused and destroyed and predatory people out there in our industries. And if you look at Diddy, there's accusations about him being abused as a child, which makes sense and goes along with the psychological traits of abuse being a kind of cyclical process. And you look at a lot of people that were hurt in adult ways as children, there's a big recidivism rate, specifically with those people then becoming predators against children. That, listen, not always. Sometimes they become huge advocates against it and biggest fighters against it. Other times, and this is psychologically more likely to happen, they become the same type of predators that preyed on them and attacked them. That's the weird way that some of the trauma works here. And with the things that we're getting specifically about Sean Combs' kind of upbringing, I mean, there was talks about Diddy's mom running freak-off parties when he was a small child with Diddy there. What was Diddy doing? Was there predatory people around him? Probably. Let's be real with ourselves. And I think we need to diagnose this in the most kind of empathetic, understanding way here possible in order to get a full, honest perspective to what is going on here. As a lot of people believe Diddy was just someone who was being handled here, that there was other people that were the ones responsible for his claim to fame, that were responsible for his rise, and he was just the kind of front group for industry insiders that were kind of using him for all of this. And then the rumor is that he got too big, too popular. He thought he had too much power, and he tried to extort a very prominent politician. That prominent politician said, you know what, we're just going to, of course, take you down. And that's probably what happened here. And they're doing it in the Southern District of New York, where they had the Sam Bankman-Fried case, also involving high-level Democrats that were never held responsible for their actions, also involving the Maxwell and Epstein case, also involving a lot of high-level Democrats that were never held responsible for their illegitimate, horrible, illegal actions throughout that criminal case. And now we're having this case where there's a lot of prominent Democrats, and the Democrats and the politicians aren't being mentioned here. Oh, in a very overwhelmingly Democratic biased Southern District of New York, filled with a bunch of liberal lawyers representing the government there. Ha, 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 ha. What a coinkydink there. Wow, that's so strange. Why did that happen? As there's some important conversations to have here. We're going to continue to have them in a future video. I specifically want to talk about Diddy's ex, which I think is going to be important to bring up here. But I wanted to leave the question to you. Diddy, is he going to go down? Is he going to walk free? Press number 1. If you think he is going to, of course, be sent to jail for a very long time, press number 2. If you think he's going to walk free, let me know what you guys say in the comment section below. Get a t-shirt, speak your mind, express yourself to the fullest extent possible on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here on youtube.com/wearechange.